This is the dollar Swiss and we are currently on the 240 and we have a very large flag pattern that's set up. I'm going to go ahead here and do the daily high time frame analysis, and we have the potential that we could turn right now based on a retest on a double top. I've actually allowed for a little bit more room, so you should be able to see this flag pattern very clearly. What we're looking for is the majority of the time a saw thumb move. This is a clear swing from a swing up to a swing down, and this swing down is going to be our pole, and the pole typically tells us the amount of selling pressure that was in this move, because look at the candles, all red, and then a great big push down here, so we can clearly see a strong pole, lots of selling pressure. This is what we're looking for a flag pattern. Then what we actually have, if we draw out the trend line and we have it, you can have it two ways. You can have it on the closes of the candles or the wicks. I'm going to have it on the closes of the candles because for me 80% of the time that is correct, and that's how it looks on the dailies. Now the problem here on the dailies is that we cannot clearly see movement within the channel, which is what I like to see. So if we go to the 240, we will then be able to see that movement, and we will then be able to position our trend line correctly. And I've been working on the videos for the flag patterns. I actually finished the videos for the flag patterns for the new website. So I think it's very good, it's quite clear, but I think I can do a better job, and I've just given it some time to really analyse, and it sounds crazy, but actually just watch how I draw out the patterns and then think if there's an easier way. And with these flag patterns, what you need really is, the easiest way I found it is just to duplicate this. Move it down on the closes of the candles like that. And what that does, that ensures that the distance between the bottom and the top here is the same between the bottom and the top here. And that gives you your accurate trend line. And it's just little things like that that I didn't include in the video, which I think just simplifies the whole thing. So I'm going to go back and do that. But anyway, back to this pattern. Now what we can clearly see are those ebbs and flows. So for me, because of the way that this is set up, you can have this as your first touch, your second, your third, your fourth. It really doesn't matter here because there's been multiple touches. What's important is that we have a minimum of 2 touches either side. Now I haven't said it in a while, but what we sometimes get is the retest before we get the breakout, and that's what we're doing now. How do we know that this could be a retest and not just a continuation up? Well, look at how prices moved. We had a move higher, a pullback. Then the next move that hit the trend line was all the way up here. Then we saw a move lower, didn't quite get to the trend line, so the next move is actually here, once again violating that. And if we zoom in here, look at the candlestick formations that we have. We have a doji, this one is an inverted hammer. Clear sign here that there's indecision, and this could be the retest before the breakout. Now what I also like to see is that we do have some structure, and the main structure level for me is a little higher than this level. Just before I do that, I'm going to throw in a fib. We do come into that golden ratio, that's 61.8. As you can see, we've hit it very nicely indeed. For this retest, we do have on the first test the RSI going overbought, and we do have some divergence there as well for the retest. So this could very well be the turning point. Now, in terms of then structure, well, we do have structure here, but there are 2 levels of structure. There's this one, and there's one a little bit higher up, which I'll come to in a moment. So we do have this, but if we actually move the structure level up to there, this becomes a lot more prominent, that big wick there, clear sign of rejection. And in actual fact, having you stop above that level would be, for me, very, very good. I'm not able to get my stop above. Yes, I did. 1 second. Did I get my stop above there? No, I didn't. There's a reason for that. But anyway, here, keep going. The key levels for me, even though these are a little bit more historic, are these two levels right here. Look at this. That and a double top there. And it's a key level for me because we've got a big rally up to it and we saw a big old rejection straight off it, and from there we saw a big move to the downside. And look at this one, this huge rally up, double top, and a huge rally to the downside. So those big moves for me carry more weight. So what do I want to do? I want to make sure that my stop is above that level. So if we bring back on the orders, that double top has occurred very, very close to that structure line where we've got that major structure. But what I've done is I've ensured that my stop is even further back than that to allow for these other little structure levels here. So I've given it plenty of room. I have the reward to risk to do it, and you do want your stop in the right place. I'm quite happy to take a little bit more risk on this trade rather than potentially lose on the trade and then it turn and stop me out. So the risk on this trade is 40 pips. The reward is 125. We do have a psychological number, 9900. I'm 10 pips above that. I am only playing for a 1 in 1 out on this trade. So if we look, I'm looking for the closes of the candles down here. Let's just go take a quick look at this on the dailies. And I'm actually playing for a little bit lower than the closes of the candles here on the dailies. But nevertheless, 10 pips above that psychological number. So what I'm really looking for then here is if we can get the breakout here, the breakout of the channel, I'll then be able to move my stop and ATR above these highs because we've had the breakout and we've got the double top there for protection. And we're back on the dollar Swiss, and I have now been stopped out for 40 pips. And I just want to clear this up just a little bit just so that we can see what went on here. Okay, so you can see now then we actually violated the retest, and not only that, we are pushing now way beyond the channel. So this is clearly broken out the wrong way. Nevertheless, very good trade. We just simply broke out the wrong way. So minus 39 pips in the end for that.